go, and go, and go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Crazy. I don't like fun. Going crazy like a dum-dum. East side homeboy, where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is OOO City. All the way to the bay, hit the base for me. Catch a case cause it's beating up your Chevy. Get your moving side to side, getting out sweating. Make it work it out. Turn the volume up loud. It's a dry crowd. Make it all shout. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Get your all in the frenzy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go all the way from the O to LA. Go crazy.
What's up? What is going on, Scoop Nation? It is Tuesday, and it is that time for us to get on back into it. And let me tell you, we've got a full show full of topics that are going to have us. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting show tonight. So definitely go ahead and hit that share button, tag in your crew, and let them know that it is time to go ahead and go slide in here on the Scoop Show so that you can get this good old conversation in. If you are new, like I said, we are requesting that you hit that share button because we are very interactive around here. We want everyone to know where you will be hanging out for the next couple of hours because we've got quite a bit in store, and we want them to know that they are also welcome to join us. So be sure and hit that share button. Let us drop a comment. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And I believe that is it as far as what we would like for you to do other than enjoy this here show that we've got prepared for you. Kels, how you doing tonight, sis?
I'm doing great. Ready to get on into these little topics with y'all. We haven't talked in about a week, so.
Right.
Well, we talk every day, but physically talk. This is our time, so thank you guys for joining and tuning in. Hey, EDOT. You said the people don't listen to me.
We listen to you, sis. We're here for
you, and they will listen to us. So yes, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Wynn?
Good.
I'm good. Glad, like you said, glad to be here to talk about these wonderful topics that we have tonight. Yeah.
So without further ado, I just want to remind you guys that the Hot Topic is brought to you by two great sponsors. The first is Curvy Kitten Clothing, where self-reflection is perfection. You got something? It is one of our new lounge suits. So you can get yours at www.curvykittens.com. Use the coupon code KKNEW, that's KKNEW, for an additional or a 10% or an additional 10% if you sign up for the, if you subscribe to the website, you can get an additional 10% off with that coupon code. So yes, Curvy Kittens is still sponsoring the Hot Topic, and also Bob's Bob Shamrock, located at 2901 Northwest 10th in Oklahoma City, is also sponsoring the Hot Topic. So you can come get hot food, get your gas, so you can fill up, pull up and fill up at Bob Shamrock. Open every day.
Every day.
No.
Every day.
For all of your gas and convenience store needs. Yes, Black-owned, franchise gas station. Smack dab in the hood.
Every day.
So, the first topic asks, is this excessive?
Ooh.
We're gonna show you a visual here.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
I'll be like, what posting? I write this stuff and go, what was I talking about?
Oh, I'll be like, what?
I know what this one is about. I remember.
Okay. So this, shout out to Keith.
Mm-hmm.
One of my frat brothers. Shout out to Keith. This says, sound excessive. After she filed for divorce, she reportedly sought alimony, 2 luxury cars, and the use of her soon-to-be ex-husband's private jet. She also wanted exclusive use of their $9 million oceanfront home in Highland Beach, Florida. According to ESPN, Seeley even wanted Gordon to pay for all the housekeepers, the chef, and the maintenance bills on the couple's mansion. This is talking about NASCAR legend Jeff Gordon's ex-wife. I don't even know her first name. I didn't read the article. But I mean, just read it. I'm like, that does sound a little excessive, but housekeepers and stuff, like, come on. You know,
sounds like she still wants to be married. That's all the stuff that wives still get.
Well, yeah. What do you think about it, Q? Did you?
Sorry. I mean, I don't know who filed. I also didn't read the article. I read that synopsis and was like, yeah, that's a bit much. I don't know how long they were married or anything like that, but these all just seem like things that wives still get. So the question that I really have is, did he file or did she file? Because if he filed, in a way, this seems like she needs a therapist, because this needs some work on letting go, breaking chains, because this is gonna dry out. You know what I mean? Like, this is a lot to be asking for in a divorce. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. This might be me speaking from a poverty mindset, transitioning poverty mindset, as far as I'm like, sis, like this, this might be nothing in the realm that they work in, but I'm just looking at it like this. That's a bit much. If I'm divorcing, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, let me just it seems like that to me, people dry out divorces because there's unresolved stuff that they have personally. You know what I mean? But that's something you got to deal with. When I'm ready to be done, I'm ready to be done. Let's sign on the dotted line. We're going to split whatever down the middle, and let's, have a very nice life, Lay you like a play cousin here in a little bit, but right now I just want you to go. Like, I just need you to go get out of my face.
What you think, Wood? You over there nodding?
I mean, I don't know how this could not be excessive.
Well, would it not be excessive if he had like 9 homes and
yes,
a couple of jets?
Yes.
Then she's like, well, let me have this one. You got 8 other homes. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, if it's relative to the other stuff that they have, then okay, That's why I said this might be me not having any understanding of what that type of money might be like. Because NASCAR, they make bread. You know what I mean? It's money in that life. So
I mean, he's retired first. So he ain't making any more money. But it's still excessive. Like, I'm not being saying she should get anything, but that's a lot. And from my understanding, she never worked. The kids were, taken care of. So, like, he's not saying she shouldn't get anything. He's just saying, like, this is a bit much.
Yeah.
She said if she got servants now, she got to still have her servants and housekeepers and stuff. That's the lifestyle she's accustomed to.
That's what I'm saying. That's like it's time to let it go, sis. Like, when, I'm not saying she should go back to, life like us. But You know what I mean? I'm not saying
That part.
how dare she wash her own dishes now? You know what I mean? Like I'm not cook your own. I'm not even suggesting that. I'm just merely saying this is a lot to ask.
Yeah. And when you divorce, your lifestyle does change. I don't care what you say and what your divorce decree said. Like that is the whole. You're changing. Everything about your life is about to change. You're now doing it solo. So that whole accustomed to me can only go so far. You are accustomed to having a spouse. You are no longer going to have a spouse. So there are certain things that come with having a spouse are going to go away, like including some of them perks. You know what I mean? That's a part of it. You got to go out and get your own perks now.
I'm not there suggesting she go get a job. I'm not saying that. Even though the world would not fall apart if she had to go to work either.
Right.
You know, I'm not, but I wouldn't.
I might suggest she go get a job.
I mean, I think she's.
Oh yeah. What would she do? What would she do?
I think she's in her 50s. So I get, she, going back to making $40,000 a year at Walmart is not something that she, okay, but you are just
work some of that socialite jelly and get with them homegirls with a passion project to put you on. Like that's why I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna tell it. Like just because you again, that's a perk of being a wife. Not working is a perk of being a wife. So if you're no longer a wife, even 50, you might want to go and see about getting some employee. You need a check now. You know what I'm like? Yeah, 50-year-old women still work. It might be rough a little bit. She's been in NASCAR circles. She got somebody that can put her on so she can go get a little cushy job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. Mm-hmm. I'm acting like I couldn't breathe. Like I've been a wife and had to go back to work. Like that's a big shock. Even just thinking about it. Can you imagine going from having servants to work? And we see it on TV all the time. But I don't want to do it.
It would be rough.
And that's why I'm not suggesting she goes back to regular people life. I'm just suggesting that
she can watch this. I like her.
I'm about to say, I'm not suggesting
hire anybody.
She should have tried harder to make that ship keep sailing. In my opinion, you might want to work it out.
She should have, baby, please.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta make a decision. I don't know if I go that far to make my point. Now I'll go far to make a point. But I don't know if I'm gonna go from chilling to washing dishes.
We're gonna talk this out. You can go sit in that guest house and I'll be up here for a little bit and we'll have dinner later on. We'll talk about it. You need to cool off. Oh, okay. I'll see you.
Having a bad day. So what if he was cheating? Would you say it feel the same way?
That's like I said, I didn't read the article, so I don't know who initiated and all that. But I still think people cheat. Like I still don't think you should have to sign your life away and pay forever because you cheated. Like I don't think that.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I still think she would need to get her ass a job too. Like I'm sorry.
I mean, like you like
life goes up, people get cheated on every day, B, and they still gotta go on with their life.
No, that's what I'm saying. So you like if you got to swallow that one, you may have to do a two or three strike rule. You got to compromise.
You did. There's compromise.
You
got to weigh what your priorities are. Is it your cushy life or you got your principles? You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't ask for all of this, even with cheating. Like you could, it happens, but I'm just saying, in my evolved mind, I would think you're gonna have to make some choices right now. You are choosing to end your marriage. That means all the stuff that comes with the marriage is over now. So you have to decide how you're gonna supplement that. That is the bottom line of what you are doing when you do divorce. It's over. So figure it out.
Girl, use that plastic surgery and go hop on the Dextron.
No judgment. Okay. No judgment.
I think everybody agreed that it was excessive. Did we have any naysayers? I think most everybody agreed it was excessive.
Not currently.
We'll move on to this next topic, which is, a little warm to the touch. It's a little hot. So it says a woman approaches you and attempts to date you. You talk for a month, at which point you determine he or she is not someone you want to date, but you want him or her as a friend. A few months later, he or she lets you know that they want to approach a different friend of yours. Is he or she out of bounds, or since you friend zoned him or her, is that fair? What are your thoughts?
Mm.
That's a lot, but I know exactly what you said too. That's oh, the webs we weave. Okay, so basically, you talk to some Winfred meets chick. They don't work out.
She friend zoned me.
Yeah, so they're friends now. Winfred talks to the chick's friend.
Is that okay?
Is that okay? After a few months. Phew. What do you think?
I probably wouldn't care because we probably wouldn't have had sex. So we had a couple conversations, maybe had a date or two. We friends. I chose to make us friends. So go for it, sis. But knowing all of my crew, they wouldn't be interested. Like he would shoot his shot, but it would not work. You know what I mean? Like once my crew, you know what I mean? Because that's just how we work generally. I wouldn't care if you really, really thought that was gonna be your boo, like go for it. But I'm not gonna think that's gonna be an optimistic. I don't think that's gonna. I don't see it working out for you. But go, do you? You know. Yeah.
When?
I don't have a problem with it actually. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, because y'all were never together. Like, I've actually had that happen to me. So, I've had that happen. I've been a part of a scenario like that. So it didn't bother me then. I was on the other end of it. I was the person who it didn't work out, and so they went and dated my friend, which was fine.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, if it just wasn't a connection, I don't think anything of it. If it wasn't a connection, even if it was, I'm like, because people gonna do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you be mad or not, if they really want to be together, they really want to do it, they're gonna do it. So you're just gonna make it more awkward for them, and for what if y'all don't work out?
Does this scenario shift if they friend zone you and then want to come back to the friend?
It should.
Like if you were still interested and they decided, no, it ain't really gonna work. I just want to keep you like a friend in the like couple months, but your girl. Like to me, that would probably. I don't think I would like that.
No.
Okay, wait. So you're saying does this shift instead of me talking to your friend and your friend friend zoning me, I talk to your friend and I friend zone your friend and then go to another friend?
Well, no. In your scenario, the primary person, friend zones the other person. So like it's their choice to no longer date that person who then later on wants to date your friend, right? Y'all talking, it don't work out. You friend zone them and say, okay, I'm good. Then they come back, hey, I want to holler at your friend. My question is, if it's reversed, you're dating a person, y'all talking, you like that person, they friend zone you, and then come back a couple months later and say, hey, let me holler at your girl. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? I'm not really gonna dig that. You won't get my blessing. I'm not gonna necessarily, you can do what you want to do. Like Kelsey said, you gonna do what you want to do, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, we'll double date. Like, no.
That kind of stuff. It's usually a lot easy for me, even in that situation, the other way around. Because I tell you, when we're done, if we talked and it didn't work out, you're dead to me. I don't care.
Yeah, we probably want to be friends. Yeah.
It don't matter who you talk to.
My friends with everybody. I try to be friends with everybody, but I still wouldn't.
No, not gonna be friends.
I'm mature in a lot of places, but I'm not that mature yet. As I even thought that in my mind, I was like, no, I wouldn't like that. That would be
hard. Like it would be fair to do anything about it, but that would be tough.
Mm-hmm.
It would be weird, that's for sure. Hold on.
Jamaica says too many people in the world to be trying to let a crew move around.
Right.
So you have nobody else that you attracted to? Like nobody else?
Yeah,
Just
like
really-
and I've had one guy who did that. I'm like, who's still doing that? First of all, who's still doing that in their 30s and 40s? Like,
Yeah.
Cool. And sit down. Yes, we're all talking about you. Like, stop it.
I think that's
right,
the
why would
weird
you
part.
want to be the topic of that conversation? Because you know it's a group chat going. Why would you want to
That's the weird part is you the topic of the group chats for
Get talked about.
You got to be ready for that. Yeah.
And you be like, and I didn't want nobody to know I messed with you, so stop. No, I don't know him.
I don't know.
Not to my recollection. Not to my
He's like, I did.
He's not my type. He don't look like he ain't my type.
I don't know. But yeah, a lot of that goes around. A lot of those kind of scenarios goes around. And do people talk about it though?
I think we wait way too long to talk about it. I think it's after this guy's already talking to the friend. They didn't flirt, and now they know, ooh, she gonna be mad, or he might be a little mad when they roll up on us at the first couple public appearances where folks might get the word out that they out together, that type of thing. Okay, so somebody should say something to such and such
before that.
Yeah, because this could get interesting. You know what I mean? So I think we just wait, because then that just adds another layer to it. Like, oh, yeah. So y'all already, you don't really care how I think. You know what I mean? This is the afterthought at this point. You're just trying to make sure that I'm not blindsided. Thank you, I guess.
You're covering your bases now.
Yeah, like, okay. But even in that, I was watching Magicians earlier today, and it was funny because there was a scenario where it was a trio of people, one dude, two girls, and at different times, both women had slept with the dude. Okay. One of the girls didn't know about it. She was hot about it, but the other girl thought she was mad at her because she slept with him. She was like, no, I don't own his whatever. I mean, he can do what he wants to, but I can have complicated feelings about this without me having to make you feel better about it. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes that's what we do. We know the person's going to feel some type of way. Yeah. So we feel that we got to talk it out right now. And it's not for the situation. It's to make you feel vindicated in the guilt that you got going on. No, sometimes you got to let folks have their complicated feelings about the situation and move through it. Because again, you can't stop grown folks from doing what grown folks going to do. You know what I mean? And then make that decision with all of the information. She had all the facts. She knew what it was. And she was like, all right. And they eventually, after they had their conversation, everybody was able to move on and go on with life. But you have to let people work through those cycles. When you hide it from them, it makes it, you know what I mean? Because they've been hanging out and nobody has said nothing to old girl until it was all like, oh, is this what we're doing? Like it was, it was awkward. So yeah,
which that would be very awkward.
Yeah. But that happens all the time. You know what I mean? We get in those situations all the time.
It does.
We hear it.
Oh, here you go.
Yes. Memes, gifts. Yeah. We got the avatars popping. I'm gonna create a new avatar to discuss.
Every time you talk to any one of them, we start it's a new cycle of jokes.
Yep, homie getting a nickname. We're gonna give him a code name. So we can talk subliminal. We can do it on it. Like it's happening.
Yeah, we do nicknames.
Yep. Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the next one.
Every dude, I got a nickname for everybody.
You said what?
I said, Jamaica, no, I have a nickname for everybody.
Mm-hmm. I love nicknames.
Yes.
We'll go on to the next one. It's talking about
we got a lot of conversation.
Yes. Being an alpha male doesn't mean that you control your wife or you control the person that you're with. Being an alpha male means that you control everything that exists around her so that she can have control over what she wants to do. And then there's a comment to that, a response that says, I have always felt that my job as a husband is to create a space of unlimited possibilities for my wife. People love to throw around the word simp for a man who caters to the woman he has chosen to spend the rest of his life with. But imagine how powerful and secure you have to be in order to create a life of full autonomy for the woman you love. Now, imagine how small and insecure one must truly be to take that all away from her in an attempt to feel like an alpha. Okay. I'm gonna go to you first, Winfred. What's your thought?
So I agree. I agree that being an alpha male is not about control. I think alpha males are actually not interested in being in control because alpha males, first of all, don't really walk around telling people they're alpha males. Mm-hmm. Number one. Number two, they see what it's seen as a responsibility, not so you don't want the responsibility of controlling somebody. Mm-hmm. Like you want you understand that it's a privilege for people to want to listen to you and to follow you and to, you understand that. So it's like, why am I trying to add more complexity and more pressure to what's already a life full of pressure? So I agree with that. I agree as a husband, you want to put your wife in a position where she has the autonomy to do whatever she wants. That is, y'all have heard me say it before. That's the goal. The goal is so she doesn't have to work, so she doesn't have to be in positions that are stressful. So I mean, that's what he's saying, that she's in the position to chase whatever dreams and goals she has. So I agree. My pushback on the post was I was trying to figure out how much control do we actually have? Like, I think as a Black man, I am really like fighting or not fighting against, but like wrestling with what's our real, what control do we really have in the world? Like, I know we have some power, but what control do we really have to do this? And what should we do, or what could we do to get more? So that was really when I said on the post, like, I agree, but I really need to chew on this idea of control. That's what I was wrestling with. So I have no problem with what he said. Nothing at all. I agree.
Okay. You?
I like what you just said about the Black man's question about their position of control, because I think that's often where these kinds of conversations get derailed, because we confuse home control and leadership with world control and leadership, and those are two totally different environments that require two totally different types of temperaments. So that's a good distinction to make. So I appreciate you saying that. To this particular, I agreed with the post. And when I thought more about it, I thought to myself, this is another way balance shows up in marriages. And it's a way that you play to the strengths of our sexes. Okay. Women are not ideally placed in positions of autonomy and leadership and have the freedom to move and do and make those choices. So sometimes it's through that influence of her husband. If he positions her in that way, she can now begin to move within those spaces. And I'm going to say allow, because if I'm going to say he's going to influence her, he's allowing her into those spaces that give her that room to move, whether it be through comfort. She doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to stress about some of the things that other women have to work, stress about, where he's positioning her in business. All those things that we've seen this particular husband do. You know what I mean? Devale has created a space for her to move because he was the one with the brand and all of that. And he has now created a space for her to do what she's doing. And now she's killing it, doing things separate and apart from their union. You know what I mean? And I think a woman's role in that is to allow her man a space to be softer, to be nurturing, to explore the more the parts of him that the world don't really like to see all the time, that he has to hide and cover, that he's not able to do. His woman can provide a space, position him in a world where people see him differently and still see him as a masculine, providing, protecting, handsome, sexy man, because he can also be tender, caring. Because he is also these things, I can follow his leadership fully, completely, unreserved, you know what I mean, unapologetically, all those things. And it's through our love that they're able to do that. So to me, getting off my soapbox, I'm wrapping it up. When I read that, I just thought to myself, that is the balance. And he just expressed it from the male position. You know what I mean? That is what that is. And I don't think we should be so willing to, that ain't what it is. No, that ain't right. Like, I think we should really look into that. If from a man's point of view, if you ask a man, what does he want to do for his woman? You would really want to hear something like that. I want to give my baby the space to do whatever it is she needs to do. If she is happy, I'm happy. We gonna be happy. Our baby's gonna be happy. You know what I mean? Like, everything is gonna flow down from the fact that my spouse is happy. And I don't think she would say something different. I don't think she would have anything much different to say, because we've watched them together within their home. You know what I mean? She's providing. He come home and he's chilling. You know what I mean? They've talked about how that's even been a struggle for them, but they make that work. They found that balance. And I think that's not a hard thing for us to talk about. We should be able to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What you think, Kels?
If I get it. I think that, and I mean, based on their scenario, especially, I could picture him saying that with no questions, because we see them all the time. But like, just reading it objectively, it just seems like kind of real, I don't know, real romanticized or real flowery, or I don't know, just real like. So I
can see like that
most men wouldn't interpret it as something that deep, because they would see it as, oh, this is really frou, ooh, kind of just from that point of view.
To your point, I think I agree with you. I think that we would probably see that because most of us have not gotten to the point, like to the, I'll use the word level in life that they have. Mm-hmm. So I can see that. Like, if you're working, if you, again, like I said with the other lady, if you're working at Walmart making $40,000 to get to think like he's thinking,
yeah,
you might not find that, like you said, it might be this is a romanticized, but if you're ex-NFL player, and she's been with you since college while you've kind of gone through these stages, yeah, I actually see your point very, very clearly. I mean,
but I get it, and that it would definitely. That's a very mature man, in my opinion, because they're at that moment, they're not even if you want to express how you feel about your spouse in that moment, it's not always about what would they say about you. To Q's point, saying that she would probably say something exactly the same kind of things that he said about her. Mm-hmm. So, it's give and take. And, we think about, oh, that just means that the man has to bow down to the woman. No. That's we're just talking about one piece here. So I think some people take offense to it that way, but yeah, I get it. I hope we're all that mature one day. Life will be so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and it works for them, like you said, because they do. I mean, I don't, because if you think about it, like if I'm thinking about them and what I know of their story, she stood back for a while for him to do his thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's just it. Wrong like that, and no one batted an eye at that. No one would have said that was, you know what I mean? Like, until he puts her in that place of saying, thank you, it's your turn, whatever, that no one would have looked for that, because it's expected for her to take that back seat. You know what I mean? But until he elevates her, and sometimes I wonder if that's what throws people off. The fact when a husband does switch the roles willingly without, having to be pushed to it, it's okay, now it's her turn. You know what I mean? Oh, it's her turn. Yeah, everybody want to start acting like it's something to it, but sometimes it's just their turn.
Yeah.
Chris Rock on his special, he was like, somebody got to be the lead, somebody got to play the tambourine and play a damn good tambourine when you play in the tambourine. You know what I mean? You just that's being in a marriage. Somebody got to be lead, somebody got to play tambourine, and it's not always you.
Yep, that's real.
Yeah. Kudos to them. I said kudos to them.
Yeah.
They bring us some good conversations.
Okay. They do.
On to the next topic.
This one was good.
So shout out to Jamaica for giving us context, because we can't even get to the root of the question because we're trying to make up the backstory. Why do we do that? Why do people have all these sides? You can't even get the meat and potatoes because they want all these sides. Anywho, she gives us context. A woman posted a meme about her losing weight before summertime comes. This guy jumped in her inbox as a response to that meme. Oh, I cannot read.
I can read it. I got
you have it up to read? Okay.
I got it. Hey there, little Miss. Hold on. He said, "Hey there, little Miss Thickums. Hello, hey." He says, "You better not lose a damn inch. I'm gonna need you to bring all that sexiness to me as is." She laughs and says, "Is that right?" He says, "As a matter of fact, it is. I got a huge appetite. I need that thickness to satisfy it, and you're long overdue for me to thoroughly devour." She says, "LMAO, I see." He said, "Nah, you don't see sugar honey iced tea yet, but you will. I'm going to see to that. Put your behind in a chocolate coma." She says, is this what you have to offer? Chocolate coma, LOL. Yes. Deep breath. For someone who has yet to earn more than that, great company, great convo, and fun together is what's at the gate. The vast majority of who I am as a man, what I've built and currently building, have accomplished, what I teach to men and women, and the gifts, talents, and wisdom that is uniquely given by me is on reserve for whoever proves worthy of obtaining those values. And it sure as hell isn't going to be gained through a Facebook text or phone convo or any other means than consistent time spent over time. With all that being said, no woman that's honest with herself is truly happy or fulfilled with herself or partner if he not putting that behind in that chocolate coma on a regular basis. Ha ha, I don't give a F how much other sugar honey iced tea it is there. If the effing ain't right on both ends, the relationship is a wrap one way or another. She says, I see. He said,
that should have been his cue to stop talking when she said, I see. That
was wrapping it up.
Yeah.
He says, we're in different states, never met. And you're acting as if you're looking for marriage on the first meet. Ha ha. Nah, baby. That future has to be earned over time. For a man to choose only you and drop all other women from a possibility, you better bring everything he needs, desires, and craves to the table. That has to be shown, he said that capital, over time. So since you're getting all serious from the start, what do you bring to the table, little Miss Thickums? It'll still have to be proven over time, of course, but I'll hear you out. She says, I post for entertainment, not in hopes someone will offer me sex. I don't need Facebook for that. It's unfortunate you took a simple meme and felt you worthy enough to hop in the inbox offering me your peen. Right. LMAO if I don't have local options. It never ceased to amaze me, the thought process of simple-minded men who think sex comes before the act of getting to know a person. I did not approach you or come at you in any way other than to be clear if what you're offering is your chocolate coma. I assure you it's not needed or wanted. Now, if you would like to have a non-sexual conversation, I'm all for it. Not insinuating marriage or even, I don't know, cut off at that point. Hold on. Yeah, cut off. He says, Jesus Lord. First of all, let me say,
He just mad now. Do we even need to read what he said?
a man type this much.
I'm not reading past that first long message. Like I'm not even reading that.
Listen, let's just say he's mad. Oh
Yes.
my God.
You know he mad. Who typing that much?
Oh my God. For us, y'all physical appearance is literally what attracts us. Simple, right? You think you have all those options of peeing because of your intelligence? Ha ha, nah, chick. Literally only because of the reason I hit you up, because of your face and body, period. Your intelligence, financial success, college degree, etc. have sugar honey iced tea to do with getting peen. No skill, no talent, no communication required. Fansomely? Fans only. There you go. Exists for a reason. No need to be cocky when you have zero control over the options you have. As you age, continue to gain weight, get wrinkles, sugar honey iced tea, start sagging, etc. Trust and believe those options you have will fall off, just as your chance of marriage. Why? Because the physical that we care about will decrease, while men such as myself that have built themselves up to be valuable continue to attract more women with age. See, as we age, our value increases. Our experience, sex appeal, wordplay, wisdom, bank account, assets, intelligence, ability to provide, protect, and lead will always hold value. We will stay in demand and on the rise. Trust and believe, baby.
No, sorry.
Ew.
That's all I got for him. No, sorry.
I don't have any words. That was so many words. Like, what is there left to even say? He said so many words.
We need to play a song or something after all of that.
Jesus.
Sir.
Ooh.
Just stop it. You know, men, we get it. We get it. Y'all got money. Y'all can have kids until y'all 90. Okay, we got it. Y'all can buy young girls well into your old age.
Yeah.
Okay. Women can do the same thing. Buy young boys. So stop it. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Is it beaten down so that they feel, maybe he was trying to beat her down so he can feel better about himself.
I know, maybe. That's exactly what it appears to be. She was not here for the chocolate coma, so he was here for insulting her. He immediately went into insulting her. He was throwing it at her. He was sign sealing and delivering that chocolate coma, okay? Before she was like, is that it? And then all of a sudden, no, you actually don't even get that. Cause we just in a Facebook conversation. You inboxed me. You initiated this conversation. Like, how you gonna downgrade to Facebook when that's how you came to me? And yes, Jamaica, exactly. Like, I know he has no right. The audacity of the audacity.
Oh, I want to know. Oh, it is.
I just said, let us see a picture.
And it always be them, no. Always.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Always.
First of all, let me say this.
Bottom of the barrel.
Point number one. Any man who texts that much, who has the ability to text that much, in a reply, walk away.
Yeah.
I'm just, because he is used to arguing.
Yep.
Men don't argue like that. I don't think manly men don't, like, even when we get mad, we got a paragraph. And then it's like, you know what? Forget it.
It's never a paragraph 2.
We don't have
a paragraph 2.
I ain't talking that much.
We don't have that many words.
Not over no foolishness, no.
Over anything.
Yeah, really not over anything, but especially not.
Look, that's he wrote a whole sermon.
Yeah. They're not even in a relationship. How do you have that emotion, that much emotion built up for a person to write those many words? Those many words.
Been waiting to say it
to somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, this my here it go right here. It's not a drill. He was ready to pop off.
I mean, you see how he just jumped from one. Oh, here. Sorry, she just sent me a picture what he looked like. Quit playing with me.
Yes,
playing.
right.
I'm trying to get
The audacity.
Sir.
Y'all gonna make it so you gotta share that as man on blast. Don't do that. But yeah, I've seen it too. Your reactions are very valid. Very, very valid. Yeah. It's too much. It's too much. But you know what I was also thinking? We have seen, Kels is done. She's like next door at this point.
Really?
Ready to move on.
Really?
like
The breakdown of this in our group.
I want to fight him.
Yeah.
Like
Where's your? Give me a belt. Give me the belt.
I want to.
Yeah.
Sorry. Have several seats, please.
Sir, you should be glad that a woman even responded to you.
Yep. Like accepted the friend request, like that type of response.
Yeah, like the owl. I'm doing the owl who? The owl. Like
And I don't even talk about people like this. But you, sir, listen, I'm gonna do him like Kevin Samuel did that lady. Sir. Sir. You not even a 5.
No.
Yeah, I'm done.
You dressed up on this picture, and I might give you. Sorry, Jesus.
No, I'm done. Done.
Yep.
You got the audacity.
Okay, let's go on to the because we can't share the pictures, so we're gonna have to move on to the next story.
Yeah,
we don't even talk about this anymore. He's got the audacity, some audacity I've never seen.
Yeah,
I've never seen.
Giant size audacity. Costco. Audacity.
So you're not even worth the hot topic.
Listen,
if I had saw how he looked before we picked this as a topic, I would have just been like,
it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have made the cut.
Funny, but this next one, we got to get to this next.
Yeah.
Next post.
I'm sorry, that shook me up.
Yeah, I knew when Jamaica said if y'all know what he looked like, and it was a period after each word. I knew. I knew the level. You know. Okay, so it says, is this the right one?
This the wrong one?
This the last one, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, we skipped the one about the coming over.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, we can say that was for next week. We gotta get to this. Yeah, get rolling back, yes.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, y'all. So it says I asked the guy who was coming over tonight to help me install a paper towel holder while he was here, and what is wrong with me? So he says, I'll see how I feel when I get there. I'm usually handy, but right now I don't know. Then the next message says, actually, I'm really sorry about this, but I just got really grossed out by your question of helping you do something because I have never had help for anything my whole life and almost never asked. I'm sorry, but I don't want to come over anymore, and I wish you the best of luck. Take care. If you don't get Joe...
Y'all quit playing. This stuff ain't really happening. What's happening? This is not what's happening out in these streets. Please.
No, it was people on the post who could identify with this guy. Like they were I could see this. I'm not really handy. I could see that. I mean, why does she need me to come help her with something? That like it's y'all, we think that these things are far-fetched. This ain't as much comedy as we think it is. It's really
people.
I want if any man tell me he grossed out behind a paper towel holder.
Yep. Carry on, sir. That's like 2 screws. It's like 2 screws. They come taped to the back of the paper towel holder. It's not hard.
Like I know he ain't kicking up no dust.
This can't be
real. If you get
real.
out behind a paper towel, I cannot.
This can't be real.
I can't. We don't even need to have commentary. We all like no. But yeah, actually, it really was. I don't know if it was 1 or 2 who did say that they felt that way because they're not handy, but a paper towel holder, dude.
I mean, I'm not handy, but Jesus Christ, it's not that big of a deal.
And to respond that way, I don't know if it's to the fact that you're not handy. I don't even know if that's it. It was the way that he responded with the whole, I've never had to ask anybody for anything, and now the grossed out man says I'm grossed out.
What mean?
Period.
Yeah.
First of all, like I don't think I can count on 3 fingers a man that's telling me, oh, that grossed me out. Like I don't hear that. Yeah. But especially when it comes to helping a woman do something, you know what I mean? Like that, his escalation of frustration and being asked that. If you don't know how to do it, then just say that. You know what I mean? Like you have to do. Why do you have to flip this around and make it like I'm so out of line for asking you to help me put up the paper towel?
I mean, that's really extreme. But even then, that makes you think. Even if you're identifying with that and you're thinking, some women ask stuff. I mean, I don't know, but that makes me think, okay, you're not gonna pump no gas, you're probably not gonna take out the trash.
Yep.
You're not. Like I said, you're not kicking up no dust in the bedroom. All of that steals from that being grossed out over a paper towel holder. I cannot do it.
I'm looking at the comments now.
Yeah. But would not be. I would be happy that he let me know in advance because that I'm not interested in this type of.
And then he was like, "Take care. I wish you the best of luck. Take care." That was a bit much, real dramatic.
Exactly, Danielle. Like help in life, and it's a paper towel. I'm just trying to dry my hands, homie. Like, why is this a big deal?
You're right, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, but so even if this is like, I think it probably was, but so you're trying to. Okay, so let's just say this is a woman who you don't even really like that. You about to go to her house, and so at least for this particular evening. 90% of the time, you're trying to get you some. You're trying to get some food. Like it's 4 screws at the most. What's the big deal?
Your weak sauce. That's what the deal is.
Yeah,
your weak sauce. I wouldn't want my name out there like that for not being able to put up a paper towel holder, even for a chick that I did not like. If I've been conversing with you enough to the point you feel comfortable enough to invite me to your home and then ask me to help you do something within your home, that means we've established enough conversation that you could have me out here kind of bad. So no, I'm not going to reply like this to the fact that you've asked me to come help install a paper towel holder. Of all things, a paper towel holder. That ain't even like no Superman work. Like that's not my deck is broke. I need you to come take pipes apart and possibly douse yourself down. And you got the whole thing. Like none of that is even happening. This is like the most safest act of service you could possibly provide. Even if you mess it up, it could be fun. The fact that 2 people put one paper towel holder in the wall could be something y'all can have a drink and laugh about it, be fall all over, have some table sex, all the good stuff. Like that could be a good thing. But no, you too busy running your damn mouth. You can't even get to the kitchen. He didn't
want the responsibility. He didn't want her to ask him for nothing else. If you give a mouse a cookie, he always wants some milk. He like, if I load this paper towel holder up, she gonna ask me to change your oil.
I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to do none of
But
He didn't want to do that.
the reality is, A, first of all, if you like her, it doesn't matter. 2, if you like what she's giving you when you come over there, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah, he didn't like her either. That's funny.
I mean, even if you don't want to be in a relationship with her, if she putting it on you, you like, you know what? I'm about to put this damn this paper towel holder up.
You know this room.
You need to change the outfit to while I'm in here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You better bring some bounty. You better bring some bounty to fill it up. You know what, baby? I bought some good paper towels. You better get there.
You know, it's a pandemic out there. You don't need to go to the store. Here's some paper towels.
Yeah, that'd be cute. I'd be like, you about to pay with
Right.
Yeah, you know when you
I
see
need a quilted.
you get and dessert. You doing stuff like what are we doing here? What
Yeah.
You know what? The other thing I'm gonna say before we move off this topic, I love men and women. I'm not, but on this post, it's the brothers doing it.
Mhm.
How when we get to a post like this, all of a sudden the particulars really matter. You know, maybe he had a situation as a child that made paper towel holders a traumatic experience, and now all of it's got to be more to this story.
Yeah.
No.
You know what probably happened was, you know, his mama hit him with a paper towel holder when he was baby. That now paper towel holder, he can't put it.
Yeah.
Put the God blessed paper towel holder up, sir. Come on.
Yeah, but I wanted to say, but I can't even say that. I wanted to say, you know, maybe it's a generational thing, like how the generations before us think we weak, and generation after us, you know, they're the weakest. Generation after us, they're gummy. You know what I mean? And you know, it's our generation though.
You're right though.
Our generation is, you know, agreeing with it, so it makes you wonder, like, okay, what's going on? I think it's just anything to be disagreeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I just don't get it.
Because when I think about it, you know, weird stuff like that, weird conversations like that happen. I remember having conversations like on Facebook inbox, just things like that. It could be something simple. If they are trying or interested in you and trying to get to know you, it could be something simple like that that'll turn into a whole argument. So people are weird like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because it shows how much we want to break out of stereotypes, but can't at the same time. Mm-hmm. Because there are men who will be frustrated and will sometimes side with this dude, like, yeah, why we always got to come over and do stuff? Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I'm not that. But then on another post where we're talking about testosterone and alpha men and leadership and a woman being submissive and all of those things, those same men who are opting out of doing the alpha man, the leader, the all those things that fall within those roles and those expectations, all of that, you know, that doesn't matter now. But I want all the same respect as though I was performing like this guy. You know what I mean? So it's like pick and choose. And women, we have our own things that are the same way. You know, we want to be at home and be doted on, but then we also, you know, so we have our things. But these kinds of conversations are always interesting to me because it boils down to like, do we just want to argue? Like what you said, like we just fussing to be fussing because we don't know. It's all situational. And we're all going to, you know, change how we feel based on the situation. But why does it have to be when we're talking specifically about acts of service? Mm-hmm. For women, this is the thing that triggers men more than anything. The acts of service that where you don't receive anything, you know, where it's not reciprocal in that moment. Like right now, I'm not gonna do this thing. I'm gonna get kissed on my head and knighted as the best man in the world. If that's not happening, I'm not here for it. Yeah, there's no. I
agree with you. I agree with you. I think the problem, my struggle is. I've never, ever seen, except for in an instance where she's using you, where it was not reciprocated. Like it's like if you do stuff like that for a woman, a person, general, but a woman who has any type of feelings for you, She gonna cook you a meal, make sure you got a plate to go home. She
Yeah.
gonna, you know what, you the greatest man in the world. Like, I mean, what?
Like that might have been the setup for your come up. You know what I mean? Like she's trying to alley oop you to
Yeah.
And even if
Man.
she didn't, look, even if she didn't, worst
he's
case
knocking his
scenario,
own shot. Get
look,
out.
even if she didn't, worst case scenario, she gonna tell a friend, and then a friend knows. So it's like, what? And now you got a good referral. You know what I mean? Like your name is good in the streets. So what is the problem?
He just essentially scored a shot for the opposing team. He just literally put the ball in the other man's basket. Literally, he pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered her to the opposing team. Here you go. Got your girl. Brought her back. There you go.
He didn't want her.
He didn't want her.
He didn't want
And
her.
if she wanted him, she no longer does after that.
Oh yeah,
Thank you. Have a nice life. That would have been my response.
You should,
that was a lot
sir.
Oh,
Over
yeah.
toilet paper,
for a grown man.
over the paper towel holder.
Yeah, with paper towel. Like now, every time I hear paper towel holder, I think a couple of people. Oh, I can't remember. Niagara. I'm trying to think of the right name, the Facebook name. She referred to the paper towel on when you missing a man, or why do you say you need a man? And want to put the paper towel holder up. I was like, this is gonna be the new joke from now on.
Yep.
This paper towel holder.
Little things like paper towel holders, yes.
So that has been all our hot topic. We'll do the other one next week. But yeah, I wanted to get the paper towel holder in there. I just thought that was it.
I'm so disappointed right now.
That's the host of the year already.
I'm so disappointed. That black paper towel.
That was a big L for the men. That was a big L. Huge L for the men.
So disappointed. All right. Yeah. I mean, that's a totally missed opportunity, but all right. Just saying, it's like a layup. That was a layup. You don't miss the layups, fellas.
No, his own shot.
Man. All right.
Block his own.
So make sure that if you are following us on all of our social media channels, if you are, you can watch us live and on replay on YouTube at The Scoop Show. You can catch us, if you're watching us right now, you can catch us on Facebook, as well as catch our post on Facebook, because we do post other things besides the show. But you can find us on at Real Scoop Show, and then follow us on Instagram at The Scoop Radio Show. Make sure again that you are following so you don't miss anything. Follow The Scoop on all of our social media channels. Also, make sure if you're not a part of the Little Black Book of Business, you are missing out. Little value here is something you want. If you're a business owner, you want to be a part of. The Little Black Book of Business is a group of business owners, Black business owners who are committed to quality products, exceptional customer service, and to networking. So we want your business to be a part of our group where we are helping other business owners become better. We're helping other business owners help grow their business. And if you want to be a customer, then you can go to our Facebook group, Little Black Book of Business, and join the Facebook group, and then sign up for our email list as well, because we want to get our business in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So before we go into our main topic for this evening, I wanted to go ahead and share a client review of our Sexy Shea and Cocoa Coiling Custard created by Elegance by Design, where healthy hair and skin is our priority, but a beautiful you is always our specialty. So a little background before we press play. Courtney is one of my longtime friends. We have been friends forever. And she recently, her and her husband actually just started their lock journey, and they chose the comb coils to do that. You all know, y'all have been following me and watching me as I've gone through my lock journey. So with that, I wanted to go ahead. I was blessed to be able to start this couple on their lock journey. So Monday morning, I was scrolling stories and came across Courtney's stories, and this is what she posted, and I just had to share this with the people. So we're gonna go press play.
Understand, like I fucking love my hair, y'all. Like, oh my God. I cannot believe I waited so long with so much procrastination and this shit looks fucking amazing. Oh my God. No, seriously, I love it. I can't wait till it lock. I'm gonna be swinging on you hoes. Just know. Oh yeah. Yeah, you see it. Cute. Thanks, sis.
So I probably should have did the not safe for work, but it's after we in prime time spot, so we all grown out here in these streets. But that I just wanted you guys to see the sheer joy that you can have when your hair is happy, like when your hair is happy and you are satisfied with your results. So if you are interested in purchasing any of our products, but that particular product that got that result was Sexy Shay and Coco Coiling Custard. It's available for $18 at elegancebydesign.com. So yeah. Thank you, Courtney. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. All right.
Swinging.
Okay. Swinging. I was in tears. I said, you have got to send me this video. You have got to send me that. So yeah, shout out to Courtney. And her husband, from what I've been hearing, Mr. does not take pictures, but he's been sending selfies and been getting dressed up to sit around the house and do his GQ pose. So yeah, we changing the game out here. The family that locks together loves together. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So tonight's topic is one that got all kinds of conversation going in the scoop this past week. Okay. And it actually evolved, I think, beyond the actual subject matter. Okay. So there was I believe this was a tweet that is talking about, I don't even know who this boy is. NBA YoungBoy, I think. He's a young artist out here right now. But someone posted, she says, why y'all always talk about how many kids this man has, but never about how he's a good dad? And the response from someone else was, you cannot be a good father to 7 different households. I want the Black community to be released from this narrative, is what someone responded to this person. And they were talking about NBA YoungBoy, who reportedly has 7 children by multiple different women. I'm assuming there's 7 different women here because they're speaking about 7 different households. Mm-hmm. So this is more of a conversation of the full spectrum parenting as opposed to this particular person. Okay, so that's kind of what. Before we get into the combo tonight, I don't want us to get particularly stuck on the fact that this man is a celebrity with lots of money and da. Like it's deeper than that, which is what response was trying to get us to. So that's the path that we're going to take on tonight. So I'm going to go with Kels first on this one. What did you think about this post and this conversation?
I like that it was said the way it was said. I do agree with the second comment that I don't know if I believe you could be the best father you can be having to be stretched across 7 households. But I don't think it's impossible. But you just have to be realistic about the deal. And if we don't even believe in really raising our children as even a tribe or a community. We don't do any of that type of, communication just amongst neighbors and friends like that anymore. So to me, is it really a family environment with that many children for each of those children? Are they really getting everything that they need from their father to be well-rounded? But it's a touchy one. But yeah, I do agree that you can't be the best father to 7 households.
What about you, Daddy, the papa on the panel? What do you think about this?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do what I hate doing. I don't think you can be the best father to a child if you're not present, if you're not healthy and present, because you can still be present and still be bad.
Mhm.
But you're going to be. So yeah, I think if you're a healthy father who is active doing things, you can't do that across 7 different houses. I understood. I think you could be good. But I don't think that's the best situation for children. Just because of A, what's needed for the children, and B, what's needed for the other parent. Uh,
Mhm.
the other parent needs help. The other parent needs support in order for them to be the best. So a part of you being a good father is also being a good support system for the other parent. So yeah, I agree that you can't be that. I agree you can be good. I think you can be present to the best of your abilities in the sense of, I know somebody on the post said, well, what if like during the weekends when he has them, he has all 7 of them at the same time and goes to their games and all that stuff. That's great. And that's a part of it. But I think there's an emotional part. There's a part of raising children that the kids get from watching their father that you don't get. I think there's a part of watching how, like, being present in moments that you miss
Yeah.
when you're not there. And so I think that's the point that I agree with. Why I agree with the second part. Like, we have to, as fathers, say that there is a cost. And this is a father who is not in the same house as their child every day, saying this. There is a cost that we pay and that our children pay because we are not there every day. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Or anything like that. It just means that the reality is that your kids, especially early on, need to see on a consistent basis both parents interacting as healthy as possible in order for them to get a good majority of what they need. Because if you're not there, they're going to get it from somebody else, and they're going to make it up in some way, shape, or form because they're searching and trying to figure out who they are, their identity, how they're supposed to respond, how they're supposed to feel, what's an appropriate feeling, what's an inappropriate feeling, like what's acceptable. Like, there's a lot of negotiating that's happening in the minds of our children that when we're not there to assist them, they're going to miss.
Mhm.
So
Very good. Yep. I agreed with the second poster. And I thought more about this to the point where after hearing some of the responses, I thought this one would have been a no-brainer from the majority of the people in our group. Honestly, I thought that would have been like, well, yeah, you know what I mean? Because we've got some amazing fathers. We've got some, guys who talk about their kids, they're involved, they do those things. But then we also have men who have some very different experiences as far as taking care of children, their life experience, all that kind of stuff. So we have some wounds amongst, the people who engaged on this post, and I completely respect that. And I'm trying to be very sensitive to that. But we also, as parents, have to recognize where our best can still not always be the best or even good enough. And that's okay. And we can still say, I could be doing better, although I'm doing the best that I can right now. And that is okay, especially when it comes to our children. You know what I mean? I'm in my kid's life every day, but I know there's still some things that I could be better at, and I'm still striving to be better at. I'm not going to say, well, shoot, I'm here every day. I'm putting the roof over their head. I'm feeding them every day. They better be happy. No, there are still things that I should still be wanting to do better at and trying to be more efficient and a better provider, a better protector, a better confidant, whatever those things are. So I think we have to be honest with ourselves. And I think that's what Sid's trying to say. Like, we got to do better as a community for our kids, because we have set the bar overall pretty low, because in a lot of ways, as long as you pay your child support, you pick them up on the weekends, and those were even the responses that we got. Like, if they got them all together on the weekends, they show up for the games. Games are 2 days out of the week. You know what I mean? Even if you hit practice and you pick them up on the weekends, what happens in the in-between? That kid is still being parented, still needing nurturing, still needing support in the in-between. It's great that you show up on those things. Your kids are going to love that. but that full circle parenting is something that your children also need. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't telling your kids, all 7 kids, not you this time. I can't get to you this time, because that you on a post, you're gonna be able to say all my kids always together all the time. I get them all Fridays and they don't go home till after school on Monday. Like, you could tell us that, but that is not realistic. Why? Because you got to work and coordinate that with 7 different households. You can't tell me that all 7 baby mamas is on the same accord every weekend, so all 7 of your kids get together and do the same things every weekend. Everybody's getting the same experience. And then you also have the baby mama drama that you say that you have on the other post that we talk about. You know what I mean? Like, how do those things add up? You know what I mean? And it just some kid is getting shorted. No matter when you know you can be there on the weekends, and they can say, yeah, he was there, but I really needed him this day. You know what I mean? He didn't have time to be there for me on that day. You know, yeah, he showed up. Yeah. You know, but that night I failed my test that I had been studying for 3 weeks straight. Yeah, I mean, he called me back that next Tuesday when he got time, but I was struggling on Thursday. You know what I mean? Like, those are the things.
Even if he called you that night, I wanted him there. Like,
Daddy didn't even know I had a test that I had been studying for. Those types of, you know what I mean? Like, so I think we have to start having those tough conversations, especially when our kids end up in therapy. When we in therapy, we can't keep talking about how this healing. If everybody's so together, what is everybody healing from?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like, why do we keep doing that to our children?
And it still gotta. We still gotta have the discussion where it's coming down to the rawest form of don't have all these kids. We can talk about all this emotional stuff. If they all together, if they not together, blah blah blah. The root of it is
you got different.
Don't have all these kids.
Yep.
You gotta know.
It doesn't have to be 7 different households. It could be 3 different households. You know what I mean? It could easily be just a couple. Just a couple.
And that's tough. So think about that when you when you're out there catting around. I mean, everybody have to think about it, but like seriously. Yeah.
Yep. Because we talk, I don't remember who on the post flipped it, but said if we had this conversation about a woman with 7 different children by 7 different dudes, she would be trash.
Oh, yeah.
She would be counted out as wifey. She would be reduced to a side, the jump off. Not even like the consistent side chick that you show up and do stuff for. She is the jump off. She is the reason why the community is bad. She is the reason why the babies don't have no love in their life. You know, all of these things. But we're going to totally disregard. But she's in the house with those 7 kids every day. And that's the result that she gets. But the dude who has these 7 kids, as long as he sends a portion, because how much child support are you really sending when you separate it amongst 7 kids? What job do you have, sir, that allows you to comfortably take care of you and 7 different households?
That's a lot of child support.
Okay. Like,
you know what?
You know, like, let's just be realistic with numbers. That stuff doesn't work. And if you are making that amount of money, why are you so irresponsible to the fact you have to split up your money with 7 different households? Something still isn't balancing there. And it can't be just the baby mamas. You got 7 of them. You are the only factor in all 7 of those relationships. But it's, you know what I mean? So like, we have to realize that it's time, the 7, 3, 4, if it's 2 that you can't be fully there for the 2 different households, I think we have to have a conversation. We have to stop coddling that by just saying paying child support, the weekends is okay, you know, showing up to the football games to holler, that's my baby. Like that we have to demand more as a community for our kids.
I think all around we have to like everybody has to step up and say, okay, we got to do something. We got to do something. Yep. This ain't working. Like this is not acceptable. Yeah. What I was gonna say, like there's no way. I'm just thinking, even as a co-parent, like there's no way. Because even if you have all 7 of them, like you only have them for 2-3 days
max.
Like, or if you have them for a week, or you know what I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of kids to try to impart.
Especially just the travel time between 7 households.
Yeah.
The travel time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can go to one house where they get 1 day a week because like you said, you ain't hitting 7 houses in a night. I mean, Christmas. How you doing? Christmas. And
They all come together. Even if they all come together, that's still, granted, that's better than nothing, but that's still, how do you give, think about it. You have 3 kids. There are times where you have to give 3 different kids individual attention, and it's difficult to do that.
Yep.
And sometimes you gotta be like, hey, I gotta get to you tomorrow because these 2 need me right now. So to do that to 7, or this one needs me right now. So for 7 in 2 days, 3 days every other weekend, and or whatever that schedule is, I don't know, but it's tough. Those kids are missing something.
Yeah.
That was one of the things coming into my marriage that I said I have a cap. I had 2, no more than 3 babies, because I knew I wanted to work. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I actually wanted to have a successful marriage where we did more than just raise kids. Right. So I knew that my own personal capacity for being an effective and possibly engaged parent was, we need to stop at 3. I only have the capacity to be even half-ass good at raising no more than 3 babies. That's all I got. You know what I mean? Because I know my patience levels, you know what I'm saying? And I was raising a small family. I didn't have a whole lot so even the idea of managing that many people. I watched my mother-in-law who had 5 kids, and the fact that she can put a full dinner together for her 5 children plus they babies and whoever else happens to drop in, that's a skill set. That's an art form. You know what I mean? You have to acquire that over time. I don't have that in me. You know what I mean? You get that 2-3 times out the year for the holidays, but to do that on a regular basis for people, that takes more than what I knew I had to give. You know what I mean? Like, to be effective and to say I was doing it somewhat well. And I think we have to have those. You have to be honest with yourself. You know that you can't do all that. It sounds good.
To me, when young people or when kids start having babies young, like, these type of conversations need to come up.
Yep.
I don't feel like, like, even meeting someone, and I remember having a conversation with them about, they had a lot of children, and I'm like, why? They're like, oh, I started young. I said, okay, but your parents didn't stop you like at 2 or 3? Like, if you had 2 babies in high school or 3 babies in high school, like, where was any adult to be like, look, if you have this many kids now, just think about how many children, or do you plan on having children in the future? How are we missing that discussion? Because there's a lot of young people with a large amount of kids. It's very common. By themselves.
Yeah, I get. Part of the problem is, Kel, we can't have these conversations with people because they don't want to listen, because people feel like you're trying to tell them what to do, and you know what I mean, like. And it's like, no, people are trying to give you. There's a difference between, like, I'm not trying to say you're bad, but there's a level of wisdom in decision making, and a lot of people don't want that wisdom. They just want to let them, YOLO. I live. You know what I mean? Like, we like, nah, and we have these conversations all the time about, like, especially like entrepreneurs, but we see a lot of entrepreneurs who make mistakes, and we like, hey, don't do that, and they don't want you to tell them they about to make a mistake. So you just gotta sit back and be like, oh, okay, well, when you let them stub their toe. So it's the same, and I've done it. I've had things with my dad trying to tell me stuff, and my mom, and I'm like, whatever. And then I come back, all right, you were right. Help me get out of here. So, I think we have to just get to a point where, like, now I'm at a stage where, like, even when my dad talking crazy, or I think my mom is talking crazy, I listen. What I mean? Like, I'm at least and I tell, like, I don't know about that, but I'm listening right now, because you know what, you got some experience.
There's something there, yeah.
And some stuff that I don't know. So I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm pushing back because this is what I'm thinking, but I'm listening to you. And I think we have to get to that place where we're at least honoring what's being said, because you're right. It's a whole lot of stuff a lot of these situations could be stopped. There's a lot of ones that would have had 7 that could have stopped at 3. Yeah. Had they listened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe they right.
That's a lot. That's a lot of mouths to feed. That you not. Ugh.
We can't let bare minimum be our okay point.
Yeah, the standard.
That's what's been our standard, just the very, very baseline
Mm.
of meeting the meeting the requirements. If we're going to say that we're going to start taking power back and we want to stand in these spaces and be looked at as though we're all these other things, why do we keep allowing less than for our future?
Yeah.
And making that okay. We'll allow the crutches of what has gotten us here to be the reason why we stay stagnant, but then we want everyone to take us take us seriously as we say we're trying to do better. If we're really trying to do better, like they're looking at our future. They are honestly going to say, okay, they're almost grown. They only going to be around here for so long. What are they producing? Are they actually producing what's going to be able to stand up in that space? Because they only going to have to deal with us for so long. You know what I mean? They're only going to have to deal with this group of people for so long. But what are we teaching our kids? And if our kids are used to only getting the bare minimum, if they don't have any higher expectations for even their environment, like what they're coming up in, what do you think they're going to demand from their government? Their bosses,
right?
Their neighborhoods, their school systems.
Mm-hmm.
They just gonna say, hey, they fed us something. I ain't tripping.
Right.
I mean, they paid me. I ain't tripping. I got my check. My bills paid. Yeah. But it's people who are thriving because they know a different standard. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So like we sound a real contradictory out here. We don't sound like we know what we really want.
Yeah.
We're not acting like we know what we want.
I don't think we do. I don't think we have a clue in a lot of instances. I think we don't have a clue. Mm-hmm. I think we are, let me say this. I think that, and I'm saying our culture as a whole, mm-hmm. are just turning the corner where if this is a block, like we get into the end, we at the end of the block where it's like, we're tired of just surviving.
Yeah.
And I think we're turning the corner very slowly as to say we deserve more, or we gotta, my problem is as turning that corner, we're looking outward. We're spending a lot of time looking outwardly as to what the standard should, how outwardly should raise the standard towards us. But are we looking internally enough to see how we should raise our own standard, which would then demand outward to change how it feels about us? And maybe not demand, but put some pressure on. It's probably better.
I don't think so. I think we are taking advantage of the fact that people are finally listening to us. So we ain't worried about us right now because we got the mic. So we want everybody else to feel what we wanted them to hear. What we want everyone to finally hear what we've been saying all this time that nobody was listening to. So we'll worry about us later. We need them to start doing their work is kind of how we're coming at this whole civil rights, social injustice. Because even amongst ourselves, when we start talking about, okay, but what can we do? Oh, here you go. Here we go, Detroit. We always got to take it back inside. That's how we can't never come together as a people. Come together as a people to show up unprepared. Is that what you're telling us? You fussing at us because we're going to show up as a people unprepared. Yet again. Make all this noise and show up unprepared again. Invite all these people to show up to do work, and we don't have our list. Yeah. We don't have our stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like we have to have these conversations.
Yeah. I want us to do both. I want people I want the outside to say, okay, we messed up, but I also want us to say we could do better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want it for several reasons, but a lot of it is because I think if we don't do it, then we're going to wind up missing the opportunity. Like I think there's a window of opportunity because we do have that mic, because the world is listening. And if we don't say externally, this is what we want, but internally, we're going to elevate elevating how we deal with each other, elevate how we do family. Say that, okay, you know what? This example that we have on this tweet is the exception. This is not the rule. No. That we're doing something to say that the way we do family has to revert back to some, not all, some of the things that we were doing as a community that worked better. Not this. This is not going to be our norm, and we're not going to glorify this, which is what the second person was saying. We're not glorify this as being how as a man, we should be okay with having 7 different children in 7 different homes by 7 different women. Like, that's not an acceptable thing. It's not acceptable.
And that's one thing that I'm just gonna say it. That the black community does a lot. You know, I feel I hate to say roll over, but we will take something. We become so open-minded to where it's like, do you have any standard or belief or any kind of system to maintain order? If you just allow everything is okay, everything is cool. And sometimes I even have to find myself like, I'm not going to make somebody sway me or change my mind on something that I believe in. Because to me, I just don't feel like you just can't allow everything to happen. That's how the world maintains order. You have to have some type of order. You have to have some type of hierarchy in everything you do, because it's a vicious cycle. Even speaking to the fact how we were saying that the standard. I have we all have a passion for youth and young people. And I've had the opportunity now to be training 2 young adults that are, I don't even know if they're considered millennials or if they're considered after millennials.
Right.
They're young. And I have to tell them all the time, y'all don't take any pride in your work. Like, yeah, I know you just sweeping the floor. But I'd be like, but don't you want, like, if I sweep the floor, I want my floor to be the best floor that was ever swept. You know, like, there's none of that. There's no urgency. There's no pride in even the little things. Yeah, it's just taking out the trash. But, you know, should nobody have to come take the trash after you? Like, take pride in every little thing that you do. So if you don't take pride, if you don't have that standard in anything, I mean, you know, it all spills over. It's all a cycle. That's how you teach to have a standard, like you said, in the workplace, in government, and all of that. So, yeah, drive-by parenting.
It's hard to do that.
So,
you can't do it.
Yeah,
you can't do it.
And that's not to say your kids aren't going to be good people or, you know what I mean, become effective adults or anything like that. But why be good when you can be great?
Yeah.
Why just, you know, what, like you can. We give ourselves so many excuses as to why we can't, simply because we haven't tried. You know what I mean? A lot of the times we can. You know, we can try. You can make that attempt instead of just saying, this is all I'm going to do and I'm just going to stop right here.
Yeah.
You know, check those boxes and be done. Extra credit is still a thing. Like, you can grab some extra credit. It happens. You can swoop it up and your kids remember those types of things. They remember that. Our babies deserve so much, because when you see them and you work with them and you get involved with the stuff that they're doing and you actually sit down and talk to kids, they deserve, our kids these days, with all this opportunity and access that they have, the ideas that they have, the dreams they have, the things that they really want to do, all they want is somebody to pour into that. You know what I mean? They just want somebody to pour into that and give them some energy.
Yeah.
We got to slow down for that.
So, parenting is a 24/7 verb, especially with co-parenting, not possible across 7 different households, barely works across 2. Somebody's missing something.
Yep.
That made me think about, you know, even I complained about having to share my parents, and I hear, you know, some of my friends who parents worked a lot just so they can, you know, gave them the best. They worked a lot so they could give them, you know, everything they wanted and things like that. So we complain about parents that were in the household that we did not have time with, or we felt like we didn't spend enough time. I can imagine, you know, having to share that with other siblings too.
Yep.
So, kids. I would, some of these conversations, you know, I would love to hear a kid's perspective, like, you know, a preteen or a teenager that could really, you know, articulate what, you know, what they want to say, and just really see how they feel about that type of thing. Are they okay with it? Is it, you know, is it something they even think about? Because kids are smart.
Can you imagine the rivalry that happens between kids like that? The unnecessary rivalry that comes between that? Like I put an example on the post about like, say it's a bad storm. We here in Oklahoma, we get terrible thunderstorms some nights that like shake your windows and make you wonder, like, is this going to be a Dorothy, like a, you know, you know what I mean? We get ready to get swooped up with the Wizard of Oz type situation. And you got, say, even 5 kids spread out all here in Oklahoma City, but 3 of your 5 babies wake up in the middle of the night calling for you. It's a thunderstorm. You can't get to near nobody, but you know what I mean? You might be able to wade in the water to get to 2 of them and bring them back to the crib and get them in the bed. How do you break it to the other kids who needed you that night next time?
Right.
You have to tough it out tonight because the daddy had to go be here with these 2 kids. These are the only ones I could get to. Y'all gonna have to, you know what I mean? Y'all just got to tough it out and hope mommy got you until next time. Yeah. Like, do you think that those kids are gonna be like, oh, okay, well, at least big sis and big bro got hugs?
Right.
No, I'm scared. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then like, how do you put babies in that position? I love my brothers and sisters, but why do you keep getting it? You know what I mean? Why did you deserve the hug more than me this time? Yeah. Why wouldn't he come out and get me this time instead of you? Those are natural, expected feelings for kids to feel. People would feel that. You can't forgive me too many times and expect me to keep calling you to come see about me. You're not gonna get that call. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a lot of familial change. We keep talking about breaking chains and stuff. We're creating some of the discord that we keep having to heal from because of our thing. Well, this was my life. I was going through a thing. You know, I was out here bad. I was out here doing my thug, la, 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 la. Do we never expect to mature?
It is not okay. Yeah.
A couple of
I mean, it's hurting us more than helping us to be okay with this. Yeah, you want to encourage people. I think some of this comes from us wanting to encourage those that have had, you know, a father that has 7 kids that's trying. You know, you want to encourage them, but at the same token, you have to have that standard. You have to.
I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to encourage you to keep.
On the other hand,
yeah, I'm going to encourage. I don't think. Beforehand. Yeah, no, I'm saying I think I agree with you. I think that's fine to encourage them, but I think we also got to say there are, you know, there's a effect, there's a reaction to your action. So the reaction is really your kids are missing something.
Yep.
So Reginald says a lot of people do not realize life is more than finance. Absolutely.
Yep.
Another comment. For some kids, their situation is the norm for whatever reason, and they are honestly okay with it, which is what is sad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I will say this. After dating someone who had a lot of kids before, it was a revolving door, but they didn't have a problem with it. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, that's 1. There's 3. They still come over. How many you got? So yeah, like just in and out all day. Just so I was like, you know, kudos that they're in your life like that, to where they're stopping by, they're coming by and all that, but a lot of kids. Like that is. So just speaking to the norm, it was normal for them, just the in and out, staying by, just coming in maybe for 10, 15 minutes, going by. I mean, but I guess that's what you got to do when you got that many. But
again, I think, okay, yes. I think, but again, to be okay with it, for it to be the norm, that still doesn't make it.
Yeah, it's not right.
Right, healthy, you know, both. Like I think that is first of all, I think it's a problem that, you know, that they have to be okay with it. You know what I mean? Like I think that in itself is the root of what the poster was saying. They should not have to be okay with this. And again, I'm speaking as a father who y'all have had conversations. They're on the table. There are not very many days where I'm like, yeah, I'm a good dad. I don't feel like that. As good as y'all people, I don't, because he is not with me every day. So I completely am speaking as somebody who is in this position. He would not have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair to them.
So what do we say? I know. What do we think is the solution for that? Is it that we need to teach marriage? We need to teach abstinence. I mean, what would be one thing that we could do to help change the narrative of someone trying to parent multiple households?
Get them to the point where they don't have to parent multiple households first.
Okay.
Like, you shouldn't be having this. I mean, I think really a lot of the discussion I think it's a multi-pronged approach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to teach them what responsibility really looks like, what this kind of responsibility really looks like, and to say this, like the poster said, this is not. There's something wrong with this. Like, even though it might look good, they might have a whole lot of money. These kids are missing something, and these are the things that like, we have to have those conversations with ourselves when we're younger, instead of just saying don't have sex. Like, okay, if you don't understand this is the responsibility that comes with, and then stop letting our kids be put in a position where they can have sex at that age.
I think we should teach. I do think this is probably 2 or 3-fold. Mm-hmm. Safe sex has to be taught before kids turn 16, 17. Mm-hmm. We have to teach them about protection. We have to teach them about what things are. We have to teach them about emotions that are caught up in sex, men, women alike. We have to be more honest and more candid about our sexual education for our children. We also have to start teaching self-care earlier and explain to them that it's more than getting our hair and nails done, getting massages and looking cute, taking pictures for the gram. Self-care is also making decisions that are going to allow you to live a more peaceful, well-rounded, balanced life later on. So you don't need so many getaways, spa days. I'm ducking off, I'm unplugging, A lot of folks have to do that so often because their lives are crazy. You know what I mean? Because they haven't set themselves up for success in the beginning. So they stress like that. You know how you don't need self-care is not having crazy spouses or co-parents that you got to fight with to see your kids and that type of thing. You know, so that helps them create healthy relationships. Mm-hmm. We don't talk enough about, we just tell our kids, don't have sex, don't be with nobody crazy, don't let them hit you. You know what I mean? We the baseline. We do not teach our kids how to have healthy relationships. We excuse everything as puppy love. You don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. You got to grow up before you get to that. Our kids are experiencing way more, way faster, access to way more without our knowledge. We have to have these conversations. So when they even think that they might be in love, when they think that might be the one, when they think that they might want to go on and maybe have that back, they think something different. They have you in that background with even some kind of reference to pull from. Mm-hmm. But if you've never even mentioned it, they only got their homies or whatever the YouTube person said or whatever last meme they read. Like, that's what they're pulling from.
I think the other problem, the other thing, we got to talk to boys. I think we have to have these conversations with young men. Mm-hmm. I think that we have a lot of conversations with young ladies already. But I think these conversations, we got to, like, I think that we have to teach young men how to what it really means to respect a woman. Mm-hmm. And that sometimes
preaching good.
Sometimes she's going to want to do something that you want to do that you still have to say no to, because you respect her more than you respect yourself. And I say that because I'm thinking, like, at 13, I probably wouldn't have gotten that, but to hear it, I think would have been better than not hearing it. So
I think that, you know, even just piggybacking on what both of you are saying, I think just the conversation needs to, the whole birds and the bees things and being nervous about it and all that, like, that needs to stop being the narrative. Mm-hmm. It needs to become just like, yeah, this is going to feel good and it's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. But this is what's going to happen on the back end. Like, everybody wants to talk about the scary things, but you never say this is going to feel good. So when it feels good, everything else you said is out the window.
Yep. Because they're like, they didn't say that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. It changes things because it feels good, you know?
Yeah.
So we have to go ahead and allow that conversation to come into play. Like, yeah, it's gonna feel good. Yeah, you're gonna have these feelings and blah blah blah, and be more candid, and maybe it'll make more sense to them, and they'll be able to trust you because they'll know, okay, this is just a feeling. That this is not, I can get this feeling anywhere. I can get this feeling anytime, and it won't be such a big deal.
And you're gonna have a lot, sir.
Right, and if you say it's the big bad thing, when I do it doesn't feel bad.
It's a drug.
It's not a big thing. It's not a big bad thing anymore.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say I do think that we should also should teach abstinence and the value of abstinence. Yeah. I do think we should, and again, I think it needs to be coupled with safe sex, but I think we can't. I think it's a both and thing. Like this is how it does. It's a great thing, and that you should wait, and this is why, and these are the these are the things that come with it, and if you choose to do it, here's how you do it safely. I think it needs to be both.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Having both conversations is important.
This is not criticism, but an observation. At some point, this young man's going to have seven different male in his child's life telling them what to do. Yeah. That's true.
Yep. That's a lot of different influence from all the way around.
That's true.
And can you really get mad at any one of those women for moving on with their lives and adding a male to the household that you do not belong in? All because one of your children reside under that roof. Do you really still have that real right? Like, do you really? Especially knowing that you are expected to be spread across 7 different households. So that is absolutely a reality that you're going to have to expect.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way you can control that.
You can't hold 7 women hostage forever, for 18 plus years just because they got one of your children. That doesn't happen.
I mean, unless he got to be a king and have a castle where they're all living there. They all have their day, and all the kids are there, and everything is, hunky dory.
That's still tough because on ain't that day they gonna wander out the castle at some point. Now the opportunity is, unless you live it in the Old Testament days where you got stoned or something like that. Other than that, it's So Wade says, LOL, she just gonna ask Pookie when you say no. I mean, but at least it's not you. At least you're not the one contributing at the moment to the problem.
True. No, I really do think, because like I said, I think if my siblings and parent were a little bit more open, I mean, they did scare me. So I can't, I really guess I can't really preach against the scare tactic. I was scared straight. I was scared. But I just feel like if I don't know, it just wouldn't be so mind-boggling, and you wouldn't be out there chasing that feeling if you knew it was coming.
Nah, I can't say that because I think the natural parts of the feeling, like the thing that naturally happens. We're grown, so I mean, like the first time as a young man you have a wet dream, you like, whoa, what was that? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not a woman, so I don't know how that. I'm sure similar. But it's like, whoa, what was that? You know what I mean? It's like, woo. Amen.
Hallelujah. Is that what they say? Amen.
Hold on now.
How that happened? So. Again, so that's why the conversations are so important, because you need to know what's going on with your body, what's going on in your mind. Why do you have to be careful with the images that you take in? Because all of that, your mind is a computer. So tonight when you go to sleep, if you put this in it, and you dream about this, and you wake up with this happen. This is what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is.
I ain't touching that one.
Yeah, I'm like,
I ain't touching that one.
You're talking about manifesting and astral plane drop.
Hey. It's a real thing.
I'm just saying, there's other parts there's other parts of the sex talks that we have to talk about that when our bodies are having changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, washing, all that kind of stuff. So my thing is, there's embarrassing things that we still talk about that it's not so foreign to us when it happened, because we're like, oh, yeah, I do know about that. Only thing that gets really taboo is the fun part of sex. So I just think if that was mentioned too, even when it happened, it would be easier to talk about it, like, oh,
absolutely.
Something happened last night. You know?
Absolutely. No, I agree. Absolutely agree.
Yeah. But I know it'd be hard. I couldn't imagine.
We know that conversation gets so different between boys and girls, even. Mm-hmm. I can almost guarantee you that the little boys' bird and the bees conversation was 10 times more fun than the conversation that me and Kels would have got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the conversation that little boys get around sex is totally different than the conversation we get. Mm-hmm. And it's not as though little boys don't have similar fears or worries, or, you know what I mean? Like, and we have to start changing how that even happens. There was a post that we had a conversation about the lady who sent the $200 to the daughter for her condoms and all that stuff versus the daddy who happily sent condoms. He didn't even send the money for you to go get them. He put them in the package and sent them to the sons. Yeah. But he got mad when the daughter got money for condoms. Mm. But the daughter has the actual babies. You know what I'm saying? So, but we have to start telling our sons that if you bring a baby here, you got a baby. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, this baby's gonna be up under you just like that baby's up under her. She gonna need her time just like you gonna need your time. Mm. You know what I mean? So when we start having that part of the conversation with our sons the same way we have it with our daughters, I really think this will start to, the way that we start to deal with the whole sex conversation will change. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the times boys it's not real until they're looking at the baby, and even then they still get to leave. Yeah. Until you force that son to be just as involved, just as there, just as you as a parent are just, it's not going to
spend the night with you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Because you don't wait through the night to have to deal with the baby. No player, you gonna be up tonight. She gets rest tonight because you being up with the baby tonight, because the baby's got to know you too.
Because even if you teaching it late and they stand up some late nights, you know, what I mean, that may keep them from getting the
2 or 3. Yep. Yep. It's true. We coddle that, and we have to own that as a community. Because I don't know how many mamas done ended up raising grandbabies, and them sons done came home with 2 or 3 more, because he still nothing in his life changes. He still get to hoop. He still get to go out. He still get to have all the girls. He ain't missed no beats. You dropping $20, $30 in his pocket. You still paying for all his stuff, and he gets to go out and have all these babies while you watching his babies. You know what I mean? Because boys don't do that. No, boys do. He's effing. He better be in here babysitting too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be mine. I told Adrian, your whole world finna stop. You bring a baby in here that hooping, that singing, you're gonna be lullabying. That's the only thing you're gonna be singing is a damn lullaby to that baby. Right. Straight up. You know what I mean? Like, all of your extras stop, because now you're a father. You know what I mean? And you're not finna stress this little girl out because you want to go out and live your very best life. She had a very best life plan too. You know, so like, we're not gonna do that. And as a community, we have to start embracing that ideology, where no matter whose house you go to, that's not going to be acceptable, because we don't do that anymore. That's not what we do. You know what I mean? That also has to be not what we do.
Yeah. Agree. All right, let's wrap it up. We got 5 minutes.
Who's first?
Good topic. Kels?
Yeah, that definitely was good. I don't have anything just extra special coming up. Bear by is still, trudging along. So y'all keep following. Check out the first episode if you haven't. We have moved the casting call due to COVID. The casting call has been moved back to April. Hopefully, April will be it. It will be in Dallas. It still will be in Dallas regardless, whatever the next casting call is. That's the next thing on the horizon. But y'all be safe. Get your Curvy Kitten. Stop by Bob's Shamrock, 2901 Northwest 10th in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. and see you next week.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks, Danielle.
As always, I want to remind you guys to visit elegancebydesign.com for all of your hair and skincare needs. Also, for my Oklahoma City homies, if you are interested in purchasing your products, but you don't want to wait, you can slide over to the Back to My Roots marketplace and pick up your products. Like, I have almost some of everything there in the store. And at any given time, I could drop a couple of this or that off. So, you know, you can message me and see what's there, or shoot the page a message and see. But you can always grab and go with your Elegance by Design products right there at the Back to My Roots marketplace, elegancebydesign.com, where you can get your products. Design with a Z.
I had to do that to put it in the comments.
Yep. Thank you.
Hold on. Kittens.com. There we go. In the comments for you. There you go.
Oh, the address for the marketplace is 4321 Southeast 33rd. It's right there by the little storage area. It's in the little building with the storage, so can't miss it. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Yay.
So what I got tonight? What do I have? Oh,
It's 4321.
Yeah, 43.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
4321.
We don't want the people at
We
the
always
place.
go back to my roots,
Yeah.
and it will pop up the full address also.
There you go. All right. Make sure if you're looking to advertise, make sure you give us a call. We've got packages to fit all budgets and sizes. So consider advertising with us. As you can see, we are constantly growing and getting new toys to play with and trying out new stuff. So we would love to have you advertising with us, so that way our viewers can see your product. So you can always get us at globaldriveradio@gmail.com if you have questions. Yeah, let us know. We'd love to partner with you to figure out a way to get your business or your service in front of more people. Other than that, the only thing I have is to say goodbye. Good show tonight. Great topics, y'all. Make sure that if you haven't liked the Scoop page, go to Real Scoop Show and like the page. If you have not hit share, hit the share button. If you have not told anybody about this show, tell somebody about the show, so that we can continue to have these discussions. We love and appreciate your comments and your feedback. They really help us. And of course, to the Scoop Nation, thank you. These topics come from the Scoop Nation group. So if you're not in the group and you want to, again, just search for us on Facebook. Understand it, get a little rowdy in there at times, but we're loving people. we get a little rowdy in the group, but it's great conversation. So other than that, I don't have anything else except for to say, of course, thank you to my co-host, Kels and Q. I appreciate both of you for your wonderful feedback and everything else that you all do. Y'all, we really do talk just about every day. So about everything. So
yeah,
these are my people. So I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah, so thank you, and I appreciate y'all. All right. Other than that, that's we don't have nothing. We could say goodbye. And,
all right.
Get out of here. Okay.
I'm sleepy. I done drank this whole energy drink, and I'm still
sleepy.
Yeah, still sleepy.
Y'all, people drink so many energy drinks. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
you know now, huh? You at the gas station.
Yeah.
You can just give it, but you just beg it. But you say you're with me, and then you try to take me. Why try to keep it low when you knock me to the floor? 'Cause I don't tears. Would you believe this love is for real, girl? And would you take this? me, treat you right. Just give me one more try. This is good love. This is good love.
Good night, everybody.
Right, y'all.
I think you want a new love. So tell me what a good love.